Here's something I find kind of odd. We treat people we watch on the internet like we know them. And those people do not know that we exist at all. I mean, I can stand up here and I can tell you that I love you. But those are just words. It doesn't mean that I actually love you. But does that matter? Hi, I'm Spyn, and today we're going to talk about parasocial relationships. So, what's a parasocial relationship? Well, I'm glad that you asked. It's a one-sided relationship where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the person they're interested in, is completely unaware that this other person even exists at all. Now, this kind of thing is sort of unavoidable if you're a content creator of any renown. Not me. No one knows who I am. I don't have millions of followers or anything like that. So, not really a creator of a lot of renown. But those other people, this is sort of unavoidable. Sorry. So, let's talk about the good and the bad of parasocial relationships, not just for the audience, but for the content creators as well. God have mercy on our souls. As weird as it sounds, parasocial relationships can, in fact, be a positive thing. As of recently, though, most of the media attention around parasocial relationships has been kind of in a negative light. But it's important to remember that parasocial relationships are, in fact, very natural, as well as very common, and it's only when we take them to extremes that they become bad. So here's how parasocial relationships can be a positive force for both the audience and as a creator. For the audience, a parasocial relationship can provide a feeling of friendship and human interaction that, especially during the COVID-19 lockdowns, was not only beneficial, but almost necessary in order to deal with the psychological trauma that being forcefully isolated from society can definitely cause. I myself am not prone to going out a whole lot and ended up kind of just staying in and playing video games and making content. So, my life didn't really change a whole lot. I know when you look at me, you think, oh, now this guy, he looks like a social butterfly. This is in fact a lie. This, in effect, helps alleviate the feelings of isolation that a number of people felt during this very difficult time. But that aside, it also allows us to feel connected regardless of the situation to individuals that we like. And as human beings, we are, by our very nature, highly social creatures. And human interaction is very necessary. And more of that is definitely a positive thing for our mental health. This feeling of connection to these individuals allows all of us to feel more involved in other people's lives, especially high-status individuals, which makes all of us feel good. And that feeling of inclusion is something that we all crave. As far as content creators are concerned, or targets of parasocial relationships, these can have a positive effect as well, and it's remarkably simple to understand why this is a thing. We all love being praised for what we do and feeling like we have a large social network. Effectively, we all want friends, or generally we want to be told that we're good and have admirers and have a fan base. For content creators especially, that feedback is important for a number of reasons. One of which is to let us know when we're doing a good job and what you guys like and what you guys don't like. But at its core, it's really just validation. And that's the most important thing to have as a content creator, is to have access to this level of support and love that you can be given at a moment's notice. It has a profound impact on a person's life. Believe me, parasocial relationships can have a bit of a dark side, however, as most of us really should be very aware of by this point. For the most part, we tend to only see how it can negatively affect the general audience. However, it can have a negative effect on the content creator as well. But let's explore both for the sake of consistency. As far as the audience is concerned, as a whole, it's all too easy to see how parasocial relationships can get wildly out of hand. At the end of the day, these relationships are very much one-sided. And as much as that can initially make you feel included in this individual's day or life, eventually it becomes very obvious that to them, you might as well not exist for as much as they're going to think of you each and every day. This in turn creates a sort of unrequited love or feeling of being led on, especially if the creator is constantly saying how much they love everyone, but you start to feel less and less appreciated as an individual. This can ultimately lead down a really dark path and can make you feel more isolated instead of less. One very obvious and very dangerous downside is that the individual can go in the exact opposite direction of feeling alienated by not receiving attention, and in fact start to believe that these people are very much their friends, even though they have never met them or talked to them. They start to believe that they are a part of their social circle and believe it so much, they start to create effectively a stalker mentality or this fantasy in which they are best friends with these people, which is not only dangerous for the audience member, but also super dangerous for the creator as well. Speaking of that, let's talk about the downsides for the creator. Hint, hint. Creators have to be very careful about these one-sided relationships because of this stalker-like mentality the individuals can sometimes get. It's all too easy to tell everyone that you love them and that we're all friends here, and you may even mean it, but it's the people that take that to a completely different level that can pose a great threat to you. How many times has an individual been doxxed? Their phone number has been released, individuals showing up at their front door because they believe so heavily that you are their best friend when you have no idea who they are. Just imagine that for a moment for me, please. That some random person that you've never met shows up at your house claiming to be your friend because they follow you on social media or they're a fan of your YouTube channel or whatever. It's one thing to have a fan insert themselves into your friend group at a convention. This happens, it's still not okay, but it happens. It's a completely different thing to have someone show up at your house. These things can be exceptionally dangerous if not addressed properly. So these relationships can be very much one-sided, and it's really easy to forget that you're staring into a camera and that there are literally thousands of people staring back at you. And you need to understand that sometimes those people can start to get an idea about their involvement in your life that you never intended nor wanted them to have. So it's important to understand how to handle that. Let's address how we handle parasocial relationships. It's fairly simple when it comes to the audience member side of things. You just have to understand that you may very much like this person that creates content or is otherwise a figurehead, and you have in fact made them a part of your daily routine. That does not necessarily mean that they understand who you are. They may appreciate you as a person or as a subscriber or as a fan or whatever, but that doesn't mean that they are your best friend, nor should you let it get to that point where you start to believe that this is anything but a one-sided relationship. You need to understand that this is a one-sided relationship and is very natural, and it's fine. These relationships have been going on for years and years. You just need to know the difference between a healthy parasocial relationship and what is, in fact, turning into an unhealthy obsession with an individual of a relationship. As a creator, you need to understand how to address parasocial relationships and understand that they can be very dangerous to you. So you'll need to set clear boundaries. This means that everyone will know what is and is not okay as it comes to relationships with your audience. This doesn't necessarily mean that anyone will listen to that ever, and you will have some people that will push boundaries, but the best you can do is just to set those boundaries and make sure that you enforce them. It is the only way to deal with the negative aspects of parasocial relationships. Well guys, that's going to be about it for this video. Thank you guys so much as always for watching. And as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. It really helps out the channel when you do so. Remember to share this with your friends on social media. Links in the description down below for all of my social media. It's like Twitter and Discord, which is really the two places I'm the most active on. So if you want to find me, feel free to join the Discord. It's open to absolutely everyone. Also, tell me what you thought of parasocial relationships. Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Do you think I missed something? Tell me in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I have some words to leave you with. You can't be friends with someone who doesn't know you. Seriously. Stop doing this. Bye.